I'm walking through the boundary now, but if we look at the end, what we're coming up to, this building here is the college, but those buildings further on, ones with the funny roofs, that's the university, that's the college, but now everything in that direction up is all university. So I've actually come because for me there's quite a historic landmark down here. During my final year, one person who I lived with in halls during my first year, and then I moved into a house with her, a lady called Mrs. Southern, Joanne, moved into, in my third year, she was redoing her second year, one of the first private halls of residence. That's a halls of residence supplied by an outside housing agency, not directly the university. There are hundreds of them now, several in town anyway, but this was the first. I don't know if it's changed its name. Here we are. But it used to be called Arkwright Hall. Ah, still is called Arkwright, right, okay. And she lived up there. And I shall tell you a funny piece of information as we walk back. We once went to see 28 Days Later, when it was first out. And the taxi back from Bradford Moor, where the Odeon was, we decided to go to the Odeon for some reason rather than Cineworld. I can't think why, but anyway, dropped us off there because she wanted to go home, and I said, well, you know, I'll walk from Arkwright back to my halls of residence, which I'll take you to. Anyway, it was quite dark, and I don't know if anybody, any of you watching know or are familiar with 28 Days Later, but it's quite a violent story about an infection that basically turns your average person into a monster, who is then hungry for blood, etc, etc, etc. So I just watched that film. It was, I don't know, maybe coming up to the middle of the night, and I was walking down here on my own, attempting, at any rate, to go back to my halls of residence. Now, I had with me my bag because I would take my bag everywhere with me. It had things in that were quite precious to me. It would have had my mobile phone, which at the time was actually in for repair, so I had a loan phone, and it would have had my study notes from that day. Maybe if we were lucky, a library book or something. Anyway, so I got here to a main road and headed in this direction up towards the university. Although my halls of residence were off-site, I had to walk up past the university to get to them. Yeah, there's a lot of people considering it's outside of term time. Anyway, up I went, and this is where the university campus begins. Of course, at the time I was here, the Great Hall entrance here didn't have a glass front, it was just a stone front. And that's the main turning into the Richmond Building. That building used to be made of red stone. You can see the stone behind it. Same as that. It's just been repanelled. And a sort of funny thing I did. This balloon thing wasn't here. Whatever that is. That jellyfish thing. That wasn't there. Oh, they've just extended the narthex, but that wasn't there. There was a joining aisle, you can see, but none of this. Let's just see whether they've... Rumour has it they've fixed the building and it's no longer sliding down the hill. Let's have a look, shall we? Telltale signs are at the base. Well, it's better than it was. Maybe they fixed it. Anyway. We'll head back up. I do apologise for getting distracted, but so I was walking up that road along there. Right, middle of the night. My bag was not very strong. It was actually a freebie from the car phone warehouse, and it was... this wall wasn't here either. In fact, this whole garden area has been developed since. There's just flagstones here. Oh, damn it. Have to go on to another video.